James Thurman for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow.
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable true school sports empire, and y'all know the rest, man. Now listen, I wanted to talk about this while I'm on my walk to the train station because I got business to tend to today. So I gotta get these videos in when I can. I don't got time to sit down sometimes. I wanted to speak about Keith Thurman because I never had it on my boxing bingo card in 2025 that Keith Thurman was gonna be fighting Brock Jarvis of all people. Not only is he gonna be fighting Brock Jarvis, he's basically going to Australia as the B-side to fight Brock Jarvis. So it's crazy how the boxing game is. You know, this is guys, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys. Some of you guys call him sometime, but Keith one-time Thurman. He's Keith Thurman. This is like one of the best welterweights of the, not this era, but the last era. You know, and he's still not. He's like semi-retired. He's not really retired. He's semi-retired. This guy has to go to Australia for Brock Jarvis. Like, guys, understand. If you ranked the top 5 boxers in Australia, I promise you, Brock Jarvis would not even crack the top 10. He probably wouldn't even crack the top 15. Brock Jarvis is like, I'm not trying to put him down or make disparaging remarks, but Brock Jarvis is not this world-class fighter. And the one time we ever saw Brock Jarvis in with anybody who was a world-class or close to a world-class fighter, in Liam Paro knocked him out in one round and treated him like he was trash. Now, I'm not trying to say that Brock Jarvis can't get better. He can't improve. I'm not like a lot of you boxing fans that just give fighters a death sentence because they lost one fight. You can get better, but I've seen him fight, and I don't see a guy that's really like all that good, you know. And Keith Thurman, who's achieved a lot in the sport. This is a guy that at once upon a time he was the #1 welterweight. He has to go to Australia to fight him. So I'll say it like this, man. I don't even care if Keith Thurman is washed up, or I don't care if Keith Thurman is old and he's past it. I don't care how inactive Keith Thurman's been. If Keith Thurman loses to Brock Jarvis, this will be an indictment on American boxing of the highest order, because that's how much I still think, even with him being old, even with him being, you know, not what he used to be, I still think the skill gap is so wide and the experience gap is so wide that Keith Thurman should still find a way to win. Now, history has shown us that these PBC fighters that go to Australia, look at Rais Salim, look at Rais Salim, look at Tony Harrison. A lot of these Americans that go to Australia from PBC, they go there and they get their ass kicked and they lose. So he's attempted to do something, as far as I'm concerned, that hasn't been done. Even Manny Pacquiao, he's not a PBC fighter, but even Manny Pacquiao, when he fought Jeff Horn, even he lost in Australia. So my thing is, Australia is not an easy place to win, and it's a harder place to even look good in, you know? So I can't believe I'm saying this for a Brock Jarvis fight, but when you consider the circumstances, when you consider history, Keith Thurman is up against it. I really and truthfully think he is. And he needs to win this fight for the sake of American boxing, and for us to, you know, maintain some damn dignity in this damn sport. He cannot lose to Brock Jarvis. You know, I met Brock Jarvis once at Top Range. I got nothing against him. I just think as a fighter, ability-wise, we're talking about a C-class fighter. You know, he's a C-class fighter. We don't know what Keith Thurman is anymore. It's hard to really gauge what the hell Keith Thurman is anymore, because the last time we saw him in the ring was Mario Barrios. Now, it's crazy because the last time we saw Keith Thurman in the boxing ring, he was coming off of a 3-year layoff, and he was back, right? The next time we see Keith Thurman in the boxing ring, which is going to be in, I forgot the date, but soon, 2025, is going to be coming off a 3-year layoff, and he's back. So this isn't really a way to conduct a career or move a career, but it's, I guess, like, without Heyman and PBC not having dates, a lot of these fighters are just sitting on the shelf, just waiting for a fight, you know. And I hope Keith Thurman, listen, I don't know how many more times he's going to fight. I would hope that Keith Thurman can find his form again, because honestly, and this is an unpopular opinion that a lot of people aren't going to like, but I think the welterweight division was a lot better when Keith Thurman was the #1 guy than when Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford were. I think that the welterweight division became absolute trash when Crawford and Spence became the fight to make, because both of those guys both those guys really don't have great personalities. They both took forever to fight each other, and neither one of them fought Keith Thurman. You know, neither one of them fought Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman is still a name. Manny Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman, and he's still the only guy. It's crazy. Manny Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman in 2019, and 6 years on, Manny Pacquiao is still the only guy that can claim he beat Keith Thurman. And the crazy thing is, the last time we saw Keith Thurman fight, which was coming off of a layoff and not at his best, he beat Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios, since that fight, has went on to become a WBC welterweight champion. So that should tell you how good Keith Thurman of a talent this man is, that even when he's considered washed up, he beat a guy that went on to become a world champion. So I would love to see him get back for Keith to his best. I doubt he will. I don't think he's ever going to be that Keith Thurman that was pissed off and angry, that was Floyd Mayweather's mandatory, who was saying, you know, we're going to burn money. He's not going to be that guy, you know. He's at a different stage of his life. You know, he's got a lovely wife and kids now, and he's made good money. So it's hard to be that guy you were when you're young and up and coming. It's hard to be that guy. Like, you know, you evolve as a person. So I don't think he'll ever be that guy, but Keith Thurman is still a great talent, and he's a credit to American boxing. Like, a lot of people always want to talk bad about him, but he never had a problem fighting people. He had an O. He wasn't afraid to let it go, as he always used to say. And he brings that excitement. He has a world-class mouthpiece and a world-class jab. So I'm rooting for Keith Thurman to go in there and knock Brock Jarvis out. I hope he does. Because, I mean, with all due respect to Brock Jarvis, like, I don't see a guy that's gonna go on and win world. Like, if he beats Keith Thurman to me, it doesn't really do anything. Like, Brock Jarvis is not going to go and become this dominant welterweight. And Brock's fought at all kinds of weight classes. Go look at his box track. He's fought at 140, I believe, 135, featherweight. He's been all over the place in his career. So we don't even know what weight class this guy is, because he's all over the place. But best of luck to him. I don't see a guy that's gonna be a world-class fighter. But I guess if he wants to prove me wrong, this would be a good building block towards that. Fighting a guy with a high IQ like Keith Thurman. Because even if Keith Thurman doesn't have that power, even if he's lost some things as a fighter, one thing he hasn't lost is his ability to think. And we're gonna see if Brock Jarvis can think on that level and beat a Keith Thurman. So I'm actually really excited about this fight. I'm excited about it because I think boxing has always been better when Keith Thurman is active and when Keith Thurman is relevant, because Keith Thurman is one of the only guys in the welterweight division over the last, 5 to 7 years in America who actually had any sort of personality. You know, Crawford don't got no personality. Spence, I mean, these guys don't really have that $1 million mouthpiece. Keith Thurman got a $1 million mouthpiece. Like, and forget the welterweight division in America, just American fighters in general. Very few fighters can captivate the audience and talk that shit like Keith Thurman. He's really good with his words, but he's also really good with his hands. He's better with his hands than he is his words. That's why we cared about him in the first place. So never forget that and put some respect on Keith Thurman's name. But, that being said, let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of Brock Jarvis versus Keith Thurman? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. But like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take your rest. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you click right over here.